is Jacob. You have a story.
I do.
Yeah.
So normally, I'm gonna tell this one on the first day. At least last year, the format that we went through was I kind of gave Chad a choice of like, it could be this one or it could be this one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna tell you about the time I pooped my pants in Africa. So, yes.
Is your mic?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just double checking.
Beep. No, I missed it. There we go.
Perfect.
Whee! Give me just 1 second.
Because yes, folks, it's story time with Jacob.
Oh boy.
All right. This one's going to be a little bit shorter because you already know the punchline. I pooped my pants in Africa. So a couple of years ago, I took some time and kind of went on safari in Africa. Went to Uganda and kind of saw what things were like there. I went to Kenya. If you go back on my Twitter feed, you can see it. I brought my little like pumpkin Halloween mug around and took pictures of it. Alex, before I get rolling, did you have a question?
May I briefly interject?
Yeah.
What actually constitutes an safari?
Get in car, go look at animal in open fields, almost die by zebra. So when I travel, I like to eat the local food because there is, aside from music and food are universal across cultures. So I try to do my absolute best to eat what is local. And I always, before I travel, because I know how I travel and I know what I'm about, which is just a big bucket of dumb when I'm like, hey, let's do it. I always take my antibiotics. I always get my shots. I make sure that I have all of the medication that I possibly can to prevent exactly what occurred from occurring. And yet, so I went to a particular location in Kenya, and it was a very, very fancy place. And I didn't want any of the fancy food. I was like, okay, please sit down and talk to me if you don't mind. If you have the time and the inclination, can you tell me a little bit about your culture and your tribe and things like that? If you don't want to, that's totally fine, because I'm a super white guy going through Africa, and you are under no obligation for doing this. Right. And then the guy told me to shut up and sat down and told me all about his tribe and everything that they were doing down there. And he's like, so what can I have the chef make for you? And I was like, I would like to eat what you have at home. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna do that. I was like, great. He's like, how hungry are you? And I was like, fairly. I didn't ask what they understood to mean by hungry. So they brought out just a huge, and when I say huge, I mean like a plate this big with food overflowing on the sides of beans, fried polenta. It was incredible, and I didn't want to disrespect or disregard or dishonor what they had given me. So I ate the whole thing, which is about 3 times the size of what I normally eat. Because I eat like tiny man portions. Like a hungry man microwave dinner is way too much food for me. So I ate the whole thing, and I handed them the dish back and said thank you very much. And I had a small aperitif of their local grain alcohol, which was so good. What's that?
Is that waragi?
I don't know. I drank some of it and then forgot.
Wow.
It was very tasty.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it was very tasty. So I ate the whole thing, and then I went to bed. And then the next morning, got up, felt fine, and I got dressed. We're gonna go out on safari. Fantastic. I leave. I pack up. I put my my bags and everything, because we're gonna drive through the open area, whose name escapes me right now, and I'm gonna remember as soon as I walk out of here. And I take 2 steps.
Oh no.
And I'm like, 1, 2, something is amiss. Something is very amiss.
Oh no.
I'm gonna just stand here for a second. Jacob, you okay? I'm fine. Thank you. Thanks, I'm great. I feel better. Shall we go? Absolutely. 1 more step. Jacob, you okay? I'm fine. Little beads of sweat start to pop out on my forehead. My face is flushed. Have too much to drink last night? That must have been it. Yes. Well, shall we go? Let's go. 1 more step, and then I let go. I did not react in any way.
Yeah.
I went, pardon me. I must use the bathroom. Can you please wait 5 minutes? And they said yes. And then I went to the bathroom and had to strip out of everything. Fortunately, the undergarments caught the effluence, shall we say.
Sure.
And I threw away the undergarments,
Oh yeah.
did what I had to do, started drinking a lot of water, put my pants back on, and then went on safari commando. And almost died by zebra.
Is by zebra.
Yes, we were crossing a small river, and when I say crossing a small river, they just take the damn Jeep and go, we're going to cross this now. And then every time I've ever played Oregon Trail flashed through my mind. And we're halfway through a river, and the water is up to my ankles in a Jeep. And then an entire herd of zebra starts to cross the river. And a herd of zebra in Africa is over 200. And some of them didn't recognize the little cage and the 4 people that were sitting in the Jeep, sort of sticking up out of the water. They were like, oh, those must be some reeds. They were not reeds. One of them was a Jacob. And a zebra reared up to me, got about yay close,
Oh.
sneezed in my face, reared up, and then jumped over the top and just like sprayed a whole bunch of poopy river water, which was already up to my shins anyway, landed on the other side, went, and everybody around me is like, isn't that so nice?
That's lucky.
This is so good. How beautiful is this? How lucky are we? And I'm picking goober out of my hair. I'm like, yeah, you could really just see the face of God. That's so good. And that was how I pooped my pants in Africa. I
If you
did a
hadn't
safari
soiled
commando.
yourself earlier, you would have again.
That's true. Thank you.
Exquisite, thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Jacob. I am going to mark several challenges as complete.